Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to film this video because I know it's a little bit different to the typical content that I make, but it's where I am in my life, it's what's consuming my time. So I've recently started the Couch to 5k journey. I'm now actually, time of filming, I'm halfway through week 4, but I thought I would make 3 sort of vlog style videos of me talking about my experience, how I feel. I thought this could be helpful because I've found the community that I have made with a few of my other friends who are also doing this has been really helpful, but obviously if you don't have anybody else at the time that's doing anything, this here could have really helped, I hope. Anyway, so I felt like before I sort of launch into me looking sweaty, I thought I would cover A, what is the Couch to 5k, and B, my fitness levels, experience with exercise before starting this. So the Couch 5k, I'm sure most people, if you've clicked on this video, know what it is, but just in case you don't, it's an app. I believe there's a few other initiatives around the world, but I'm fairly certain the NHS back the Couch to 5k, because I think the first time I heard about it was in my GP's doctor's surgery. So it's a 9-week program from you going from not running at all to running for about 30 minutes straight, which is roughly 5k. And it's an app that you can get on your phone, and what happens is it's basically like guided runs, and you can play your music at the same time, and it will sort of dip the music and talk to you. You can pick someone. I've personally picked Joe Wiley, but you can go for just like a random person, or I believe it's something Johnson. He's a previous running athlete. As you can see, this is not my forte. It's something Johnson. He's an American runner for sure. There's the television doctor, Sarah Millican, and Joe Wiley, and then I think Sarah, the standard person. Anyway, so yeah, it's basically an app for guided runs. It's completely free. Do I think it's the best app in the world? No, it's a little bit clunky. I find personally, particularly the first clip when they start talking to you, it screams at me, it's really, really loud, and sort of the audio quality is a bit off. But for a free app, hey, I shouldn't be complaining, but I guess that would be my only gripe. And me, I have never, ever in my life been a sporty person. Never. When I was in primary school, I did do a lot of sports clubs, but it was purely because I was enthusiastic and I like to be involved in things. Nothing to do with my athletic ability. I just like to be involved in things. So I guess, but yeah, I never had a passion for it. I never quote unquote enjoyed it. I enjoyed hanging out with my friends. So there's that, and then in secondary school that completely went out the window. Classic Lisa Simpson style thing where I was in the top classes for everything except PE. I was in the bottom class, and I would always be that person that would sort of be like, I've got women's troubles, so I could sort of sit on the side. And then since then, there have been a few times, since I left school, there's been a few times where I've gotten involved in sport. That's incorrect, where I've gotten involved in exercise. You know, I've had a few stints at the gym just because. I've done a spinning class or 2. Yeah, you know, sort of you get those sporadic spurts of motivation, but nothing's ever really stuck. I did do quite a bit of yoga at the end of last year, and I must admit I need to get back into that because I really do enjoy that. But for the most part, the only time where I really sort of stuck to working out was when I went to Peru. So a couple of years ago now, I hiked Machu Picchu, and I knew sort of I was not fit enough when I booked that trip to do it. Sort of, so having that goal, that was the only real time that I've stuck to sort of a regimen, and I just went to a local gym and sort of went on the treadmill, and that was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. But after I stopped doing that, I stopped going to the gym completely. But yeah, and I sort of haven't, yeah, as I mentioned, I did do a little bit of yoga at the end of last year, but since then I've been pretty slack with everything. Back in November, when I started my lifesome journey, if you haven't watched my video where I talk about how I've lost a stone, that was purely down to dieting and using the app Lifesome. So I'll link that video down below if you sort of are interested in the Couch 5k due to losing weight. That is the dieting side of things, which I switched up, and I talk about that side of things in that video. But at the same time, I did download the Couch to 5K, and you'll hear me talk about it in the video later on, but I went for one run and that was back in November, and I picked it back up again. Yeah, it must have been, you know, a month ago. It was something that had been playing on my mind. I'd sort of really gotten to grips with lifestyle and the dieting side of things, so I wanted to implement exercise into that. And, you know, this is an app I still had on my phone, and I just went for it. Anyway, so here's me. Hello. Welcome to day one, pre-run one of the Couch to 5K. If you watch my How I Lost a Stone video, then you'll know that I told the internet that I was going to do the Couch to 5K. And I'd be lying if I didn't tell you that I did attempt to start it at the end of last year, around a similar time as to when I started using LifeSum. And I just found that I didn't stick to it. I went for one run and was appalled with how not fit I was. I'm gonna go for a run. I'm a bit hungry now, and I don't know if I should eat beforehand or if I should wait. I'm gonna wait for my housemate to get home, so then I don't have to take keys, so he'll be back shortly. So I will then also tell you how I feel after. I'm like, also, like, I've got makeup on from the day, so I'm just looking at myself on the viewfinder. Is this a lot to go running in? I mean, I have no problem with going out in public not wearing any makeup, but I already have makeup on, and I'm like, do I want to take it off for the run? I feel like it's the lipstick that's pushing it over the edge, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Pray for me. Hello, we're back again. This is definitely not the same day. But I did want to check in whilst these first few runs were still fresh on my memory. So I actually went for my second run today. And I just want to talk about a little bit, I guess, how I felt when I attempted the Couch to 5K. I say attempted, like very loose, back in November, and it's now the end of March. I've done 2 runs and I feel good about it, and I've planned my third. So basically, when I first kind of went in, it wasn't blind to the Couch to 5K, but do you know, I picked Jo Wiley, and she, like, literally they say on the podcast, it's like, don't go in too fast. And I think maybe I was really unaware of how unfit I was when it comes to cardio, and how the first week is split up is you have a 5-minute brisk walk, and then you do 60 seconds of running and 90 seconds of a brisk walk, and you repeat that 8 times, and then you do another 5-minute brisk walk to warm down. And I found in my first attempt, after 3 60-second runs, like, I was knackered, and after, I don't even know if I got to 4, to be honest with you. I just turned around, went back home, and felt really defeated. But I guess it was a bit of a wake-up call. But yeah, it took me a good few months to sort of get back into a place where I'm thinking, no, actually, this is something that I want to get better at, because yeah, I don't really run. So these 2 runs that I've just been on, I felt better. So the first one, I've completed both of them, which, you know, that is an accomplishment in itself if you compare it to my previous situation. But yeah, so the first run, as I said, it sort of split up into 8, and I found after the first 4, I think again, because I finished at 4 the previous time, I was like, oh, but you know, I didn't set off as sort of gung-ho as I did the previous time. I sort of really did pace myself. From 1 to 4, I was a bit like, or when I got to 4, I was a bit like this, but then I think when it's sort of like you've got those 2 runs left, I sort of was able to go for it. But then today, when I did my second run, I found runs 1 to 4 quite easy, but then I did eat my lunch about 45 minutes before I went for my run, so by run 6, I had a stitch, which was not fun. So I found like the last 2 runs a little bit harder, which I guess I was a bit like meh about. Oh my god, also I was running and this topless man runs past me, and I'm just like, fuck off, like, why are you doing this? Like, he's jacked, and I'm just like, oh god. Here's me like red face, like looking, oh my god. But not I'm trying to press this dude, I thought it was a douchebag, put your fucking t-shirt on. But then what I found interesting, like on the other side of the road, because where I run, I live quite near a place where a lot of people run, like it's a big sort of open park. And on the other side of the road, there's clearly another woman doing the Couch 5K, because she sort of, like, I saw her in my peripherals take over me and then like stop, and I'm like, actually you go girl. So I found that a bit funny, where I was a bit like, oh, I couldn't like
I'm not running as fast as this guy, and then I got my sister over the other side of the road. So yeah, that was an interesting thing that happened to me today. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I've got my 3rd run planned in now for a morning, so I am not a morning person. So this is gonna be interesting. But yeah, I've got a run planned in for the morning, and then I'm meeting my friend about 1. So that's plenty of time, but obviously I need to be showered ready and all that stuff, which when I've got a nice easy morning, I find myself really unmotivated. But that's the only time that I can sit in this 3rd run of the week. So I'm going to do it. I'm excited. Also, one thing I wanted to point out, I think another thing that I found really helpful is, I guess, accountability, because before, you know, my housemates knew I went for that 1 run, but realistically nobody else was really in the know about it unless I told them after I did it. But actually one of my friends I think she's on week 6 with the Couch to 5k. I've started Snapchatting her before I go and then after I go, and I just like talk about my run to her, and obviously she's expecting me, although she's not going to tell me off, but like I'm thinking like, oh, Katie will know, like she'll know that I'm not doing it, so I need to tell her. So I find like having, even though I don't run with her, which I think would also be helpful if you were doing it along with someone, even though I'm not doing it with her, I am doing it with her. So I think it's nice to talk to somebody about it, and also I guess that's why you're here too, watching this video. So far, after run 2, I'm feeling positive. I really should download an app that tells me like how fast I'm running and like tracks my runs and all that stuff. I know there's a bunch of them, so actually one of my friends runs marathons, so I might ask her what she uses, and I will report back when I find something. But yeah, as I said, run 2, feeling positive. Also, I did mention Jo Wiley is who I picked, and I find her really encouraging and just really lovely. I think I will talk about my music selection and how I choose my music at a later date. Anyway, here's to future Alice. Hi guys, as you can see, I am fresh out the shower, and I've just done my 3rd run, so I've completed week 1 in 8 days, not in actually 7. So I've got to be honest, in my last clip I believe I mentioned that I was going to do an earlier morning run before I had plans in the afternoon, and I've got to be honest, I went out that Friday night and had a couple beers, and I wasn't hungover or anything, but I was just not interested in going for a run. So maybe either I need to take it more seriously, that would probably be the first pointer to give myself. Sorry, I'm holding you. I need to take it more seriously, which is valid and fair, but also maybe really consider the planning with it. So I knew that was the only day that I could do it, and then I still went out the evening before. Anyway, so it's a learning curve. Anyway, I've gone today and finished it. I don't think I'm gonna talk through every single run that I do, but I feel like I should talk about the 1st and the 3rd going forward for each run. So yeah, so run number 3, all 3 have been the same for this week. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel a bit apprehensive, I guess, because I guess I was naive in thinking that by run 3, I would be doing it in my stride, that it would be the easiest thing ever. And I would sort of be ready to move on to the next stage. Whereas I felt the same as I did with run 2, which was an improvement from run 1, but yeah, I still got a little bit of a stitch, and I made sure I didn't eat anything beforehand. Yeah, I guess I'm just a bit apprehensive for what's to come if I'm still not, you know, not dying at the end of it. Like I always get really like red-faced and stuff, which I guess it's good to get your heart up and stuff, and I don't think this is designed to be easy. But yeah, so I guess I'm feeling like I'm ending week 1 on a bit of a ooh type thing. I know the other day I mentioned my playlist and what I listened to. So with my 1st run, I just picked, I have Spotify, so I picked like a random punk playlist, which is like specifically for running, and it mentions at the bottom beats per minute. Now, I again was naive back in November thinking that, you know, whatever, I've got this, it's fine. And I think having that music, just like angry punk music, like probably didn't help with me pacing myself. I think I sort of like went in all guns blazing, and in actual fact I don't think that particularly helped. So I've decided for at least now, whilst I am still very much a novice,
to instead listen to sort of just like almost like party playlists. So actually I've listened to two. I've listened to my top 100 of 2018. So obviously it's banger after banger, or at least in my eyes anyway. But also, you know, it does have, I listen to predominantly like up-tempo music, and I'll sort of skip the sad songs. And I have also listened to my time capsule as well. But I just think like honestly like a party playlist where for the most part it's, yeah, up-tempo music but not like really, really fast music. So I feel like actually depending on what I'm listening to really does affect the tempo at which I go, which is interesting. So yeah, I will see you for week 2 run 1 then. Wow, I am looking so glam this entire video. So it is a couple days later and I just want to be real. I am like procrastinating going on this run. So like I'm in what I'm planned to go running on. I mean, I've got a cardigan on, but like that's the thing, like I'm a little bit nippy just in my house. Like even with this cardigan on, so I'm a bit like, I do have like another pair of leggings which aren't like the baggy ones that I wore the first time I went running. So I'm tempted to put that on. I'm like, do I want to go running in a jacket? Like I don't know what to expect from run 2. Shall I open up the app? Shall I find out what I'm procrastinating against? Because I'm putting it off big time. So it's a 5-minute walk, 90-second run, 2-minute walk. That's repeated 5 times. Then a night, that's fine. That sounds alright, that just, yeah. It's only 30 seconds more of each. So that doesn't sound so bad. I'm gonna wait for my housemates to get home so I don't have to take keys. Although what I have been doing, hang on. Oh, I just stopped recording on myself. Apologies. This is what I go running with. This is by ASOS. It's just like a little running band where I can stick my phone in. I have an iPhone and this fits for it. But what I've been doing is, I'm not going to show you my keys, but I've got like a little clip that holds my keys together. It's not like a rock climbing clip thing. Like it's like one of those like bigger keyring clips, but like the thing fell off of it years ago, but I use it to hold my keys together. I actually take that off and just stick my house key on this. And so far that's worked. So although I do have leggings that have like a little pocket in the bum where I could just shove my key into. I don't know like where to wear my top because this is just like a t-shirt. I've been running in t-shirts and the last time I went it was a bit nippy. So, but then again that first one that I went to in November, I wore a hoodie and I was fucking baking. So, I'm probably gonna change a tyre and go for this run. I'll see you after. Hi. So, I know I said that I wasn't going to do a chat after every run, but I've just done run 2, week 2. I'm feeling really positive, which is really good. I was a bit apprehensive, so I've learned something. I don't run on the weekends. For these past 2 weeks, I've planned to do a run on the weekend, sort of just to spread them out right across the week, and both times I haven't done it. Like, in part, I work on the weekend, but also one of the weekend days is the only day I can fully spend with my boyfriend, so I've just realised that scheduling them in for the weekend is just not going to work for me because I'm just far too busy. But that being said, like I know that going forward that is something that isn't going to work for me, so I guess it's good to identify these things rather than just keep on missing runs even though I know that that's going to be a problem for me. Oh my god, my arm's shaking, I'm so tired. But yeah, run 2, week 2. So I've had a little bit of a gap in between runs. I was a bit apprehensive before I went, but actually I feel like I was the fastest I've been so far, and I wasn't as, sorry, I can feel my arm shaking, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I was the fastest I've ever been, and also, you know, I wasn't as in much pain, and do you know what, I think a lot of it's down to breathing. I have the app Headspace. I believe I've spoken about it before, like in favourites videos and stuff, because I love it. And like I use it quite a lot to help me get to sleep, and one of the things that it sort of asks you to do is sort of like breathe in for 4, hold for 4, then breathe out for 4. Sorry, breathe out for 6. But yeah, I've just realised I'm a really shallow breather. So whilst I'm running, I'm making sure, like I'm conscious of my breathing, and I found that's really helped me as well. Also today, there was a high point with my playlist pick. So today I just picked the 80s hits playlist on Spotify. Banger after banger. A personal highlight was You Can't Hurry Love by Phil Collins, and it was sunny, I was running around, just, you can't hurry love. And I was having a right nice time. So I feel like that for me has been a bit of a turning point, I guess. I still have to psych myself up to go out, but I've had a positive experience. My only issue is
the app sort of encourages you to leave a space between each runs, but my plan going forward, as I said, I know I don't run on weekends, is, so that today's Thursday, I'm going to run again tomorrow, which is Friday, so that means in the 2 weeks that you're supposed to run, I've run it in 3, so then going forward I will run 3 days during the weeks, i.e. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is going to be the days that I have to do it. But yeah, so we'll see how I feel tomorrow running 2 days on the trot, because it's the first time me doing that. I'm feeling positive, I'm feeling good, so I wanted to document it. But yeah, we'll see how positive I am tomorrow. Anyway, see you soon.
I am fully aware that every time I film these clips, I look gross, and that's mainly because I'm post-run. So I've actually already showered, lucky you. But today was week 1, hang on, hold the phone. Run 1 of, let's start again. Today I did the first run of week 3. I hope you can hear my washing in the washing machine there. How did I feel about it? So basically it's, you do your 5-minute warm up, 90 seconds run, 90 seconds cool down, 3 minutes run, 3 minutes cool down, repeat that. Yeah, so that's the run. So what I found really interesting is I'm finding it's going quicker now that I'm not stopping and starting as much. I think it's very true, sort of when they sort of say like, oh, it's harder to start up again once you stop, which I know when they're mentioning that in the podcast or on the app, they're talking about like stopping completely, but I find now retrospectively, I find it's almost harder to then start again, just like running more, even after just walking. Apologies, my card was full. How am I feeling today? So with those 3-minute runs, I was worried, obviously, because that's double the amount of time that I've spent running previously. But they went surprisingly quickly. What I think I quite like is sort of halfway through or 2 minutes into those spurts, you know, they sort of say like, oh, you've only got a minute left, etc. And it kind of like breaks it up. And honestly, I have found just sort of daydreaming whilst I'm plodding along. Now that I've very much like sort of like got my route, like there's like a little bit of greenery that I run around, and I guess I'm not necessarily worried about that, like I know. Yeah, just literally let my mind just sort of wander, I find is what's easiest for me. Also music, I went back to the 80s hits playlist today and it was good. I find, because I'm the type of person that would just sort of like sit and listen to music, so whereas now I'm running and listening to music, so I can definitely see myself sort of, if there's like a new album that I want to listen to, like chucking that on whilst I'm going for a run, because I'm like listening to this music and paying attention. Although what's interesting, I find like sort of like the upbeat 80s tunes is where it's at for me personally. So I'm feeling positive, which is good, but I know I'm always sort of like quietly cautious of the next run, because I haven't looked ahead as to what I'm going to be doing later on in the week. So today's Monday, but I actually can't run on Wednesday, so I'm running 2 days in a row again, which I know I'm not supposed to, but I want to get it done, and I'm feeling okay right now. I'm not feeling tired or anything. As I said, like I'm feeling like they're going super duper quickly now, which is good, I think, I hope. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Anyway, I'm from a posy place. We'll see how I feel tomorrow.
And here we are now. So, as I mentioned, I am technically now 4.5 weeks through, but I am now a lot less self-conscious about running. I think that's something that has really changed, which I guess I never thought would. But now, you know what? I just don't think people give a shit, really. Because where I run is a place where a lot of people run, like it's a typical hotspot for running. So, because it's quite near my house, which I also think is really helpful for me. I reckon if I was living somewhere else that didn't have an outdoor space where I could run quite easily and also not be the only person and it's sort of safe and all that stuff, then maybe I wouldn't have stuck to it. But because I am lucky enough to be living near somewhere where I can run and, you know, as I said, it's a hotspot for running. You know, I think, for a while I thought, you know, people driving past, they would care. They don't care. And even if they do, they've driven past, bye, see you later. And then even when you're running past other people, you know, they're there for the same reason you are. So I found, my self-consciousness of literally going out, like rolling out of bed, putting on my workout gear and just going has been something that I didn't expect to be less of an issue for me now. And it was also more to do with like my speed. I think I was worried about sort of looking like I'm like doing a glorified walk. And hey, there's probably some points during my runs where I am doing a glorified walk, but even still, so what? That's better than not doing anything at all. I just think it's a nice sense of achievement as well, because as I mentioned, you know, physical activity has never been my forte, whereas now it's something that I can do. Do I say I love running? No. Do I enjoy the sort of sense of achievement? Yes. Yes, I do. It's something that I've never applied myself to, and I am really happy that it's sticking. But yeah, if you have any questions, please leave them down below. You know, I am no expert doctor or anything like that. I am just your average Joe doing these runs, but I feel like that's who it's made for. I hope you found this video helpful, and I shall see you again soon. Bye!
Oh my god, I've been talking for 7 minutes.